We outside. It's the Hornsmen show, built to outlast. Forever real. It's the truth, it's the talk, it's the tales they slang. Real ones on it. All gas, no brakes, feel the real ones ring.
Woo, woo, oh who, oh who.
From the grid to the grind, every bar they throw straight.
It gets me going.
It does. R.I.P. D'Angelo. I'm mad.
Welcome to the Hornsmen Show. I'm your host, MD. And in the studio today, we have Gip. What up, Gip?
Well, it's me, Gridiron Gospel, on this evening. Thank you for having me, MD. Appreciate you bringing me back this week.
Yes. So happy to have you back. We also got T. Jones. Where you at?
Good to see everybody. DJ Hawaii 5-0 in the mix. What's happening? We got a good one last week. We happy.
Yes. Rodney Waits. What up, baby?
Call me 9, dog, because the last 2 years, 3 plus 6 is only 9, and that's all Oklahoma got. I'll show each little segment. I'll show a little bit of my shirt. See, it's hooked. little teaser. Little teaser.
There you go.
Oh, and we got Toma T. What's happening, baby?
What's going, America and world? It's 9:07 p.m. And oh, who? I don't even have to say it. We're smiling, feeling good.
Oh man, y'all all talked about it. What a game! What a victory! But one that we needed for sure. Because I mean, we knew we were gonna win, but we definitely needed that win for sure. But before we get into the game activity, let's talk a little bit about the tailgates, the entire Texas OU weekend. We were able to go to a tailgate on Friday, the bash before you clash. DJ Hawaii 5-0 was out there spinning.
We had a really good time. Texas Exes, shout out to them for sure for having us. We had 2 DJs out there. Definitely just wanted to start the vibe off for the pep rally for the weekend, get everybody there. And we also ended up having some celebrity previous players that ended up coming through, one of them being Tony Hill. So shout out to him. He did a meet and greet. But let's talk about meet and greets. I know that we've probably met him before, but MD, do you have any personal stories about meeting him by any chance? You like shit?
Well, that would be the second meet and greet. Tony Hills. Now, let's talk about the first one. 70-3, Texas over Colorado. And back in the day, I hosted the non-Greek step show. So the MC of the event, shout out to the chapter bros, Epsilon Iota. So I'm hosting the event. I'm, cracking jokes here and there. There is right before one act, there is a group that leaves their phone on the stage. So I don't know it's a prop for the stage. So I pick it up and I'm like, oh, shoot, I got me a new phone. And somebody's like, oh, that's my phone. Well, I'm like, well, you want that phone? What you gonna do to get this phone, right? Joking, ha 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 ha. The crowd is laughing, giggling, whatever. Give the phone back. Now, we leave the event again. Texas just had beat Colorado 70-3, and it's after the event. We're taking a TV back to the car, me and AT, and who rolls up to me? Well, Waits knows a part of the story. I'm thinking it's Jonathan Scott.
Same person.
Because I think Jonathan Scott and Tony Hills look alike, and my dad used to work with Jonathan Scott's dad. And so he's like, say, Playboy. I was like, yo, Jay Scott, what up? He's
Great
like,
win.
Hey,
What up, homie?
He immediately goes, say, I heard you was talking my girl had to give you something to get her phone back. So I immediately look up to him. He's towered over me. So the comedic diffuser of the situation, I'm like, Jay Scott, man, my dad used to work with your dad, homeboy. I was just tripping. He's like, my name Tony Hills. And the
when they look alike goes wrong.
Scooby-Doo, I was like, ruh-roh. So I look over at AT and I'm like, AT, what we gonna do? So again, I tried to fuse the situation. I'm like, man, I was just joking over there. I'm tripping. I'm walking away. I'm walking away. Luckily, he believes that I am just tripping. And I talked to AT after. AT was like, "Bro, I don't know what I was gonna do, but I mean, I had that TV that he about to throw that TV at his ass."
as if he couldn't have just caught the TV and threw it back like that one on the table.
Hey, but at that point, it was our only hope. But fast forward to the meet and greet, so I see him sitting down. He probably has no idea who I am. I'm like, hey, Tony, hey man, nice to meet you, man. MD. Hey man, I 70-3, Colorado. Y'all beat Colorado. Non-Greek step show. And I was the host. And you can see it. You can see it in his head. He was like, "Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this?" Then all of a sudden it clicks. And you can see him like, "Oh yeah, I remember you."
Little fella.
Yeah. And so I'm like, "Oh yeah." Fast forward, I'm like, "Yo, what do you do?" He's like, "Yeah, what do you do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I work at the spot." He's like, "Oh, well, shoot, I need to be reaching out to you for the hookup." And he's like, I'm good now. I ain't really like that girl. No way, ain't never work out. So, so that was my meet and greet story. Jonathan Hills or Jonathan Scott.
Tony Scott.
It's the same person.
Junior.
The third.
Oh man. Waits, yeah, I mean, you had a good time with your boy Sean.
Yeah, it was cool, man. We went to a pregame, another happy hour at Win Some. So Dalen Golf, shout out to Chris Stribling. They threw something. Rob Wright owns it. And it was Win Some. And it was so funny because Sean Casey, this was his first ever. He was at University of Oklahoma. He's an Alpha Phi Alpha like us. He's a great dude. He won just this huge Trucking and Amazon award, but it was his first time. He always sold his tickets or went to a watch party. And so I said, bro, you're not ready for what this 92,000 folk thing is going to look like. He sent us a text, wanted to sit with us. I sent it to MD. MD told him without even looking at the ticket price, $500. He ain't respond fast enough. MD then said it was $750. So let's just say he bought his own ticket. But I was able to sit with him at the game. And when I tell you the joy, I want to say it again, joy of sitting at the game with Sean Casey was absolutely immaculate. We were, hanging out the whole weekend. I'm glad it was his first experience. He was a man amongst enemy lines on the front side. He came to the Texas Exes tailgate. He took pictures with us. They served him food. He was man enough to eat it, which I don't know if I would have done after we went. Because when we went to USC, that was the most ballyhooed and negative treatment we ever got. We accidentally, shout out to Steve from Southwest Texas State. He was like, yeah, man, it's a pep rally over at Universal Studios. Yeah, the USC pep rally. And that's where the 90-year-old guy told me that Bevo was for dinner. He was on a respirator and the little oxygen can was rolling behind him, and he still had enough to muster up. So RIP, because I'm going to just say, Gip, that was 25 years ago. I'm going to just say he ain't living no more. So RIP the old boy. Because I just had a feeling. And that's all.
We lost some great ones.
Yeah, I'm going to just look. And I just had, see, look at that. I'm adding a hat now. I'm adding a hat to my shirt.
Not Ivan. If he dies, he dies.
Chicago, that thing.
Bro, he had on a button that said USC like 55 or something. I was like, man, you better roll up on me, homeboy. And he said, for dinner. And I was like, get out of here. Crypt keeper. Sorry, I'm over it.
Oh man, well, hey, we had some good stories, man. We probably got 37 more stories to share, but let's get into the game. Let's get into how we performed. What did we do offensively, Toma? What did you see this week? Were you proud of what the team did? And then Waits will let you get into the offense after Toma.
Yeah. So I'm still riding high, to be quite honest, not only offensively, but I would even say from Sark's standpoint, right? In terms of how he created up and what he dialed up and creating space and allowing for our offensive line to find themselves starting to build it. I told y'all before, this is a learning and development season, but for Arch to go 21 for 27, right? But I feel like he was killing on third down. I haven't seen Arch that poised this entire season. That little Trey Wisner, I want you to be nice to the young ladies out there, sir, but shout out to you for 22 rushes and 90 plus yards. I think you had 120 all-purpose yards, speedy. And it's those secondary kind of evolution that we saw from the line That's what I needed, right? We only have like 1 sack. That's what I'm talking about. We're learning and developing. And so that's what I want to see, especially at the O-line, baby. My big boys.
Yeah, if you're speaking of the O line, man, honestly, I think true freshman Nick Brooks. I mean, he came in as an offensive tackle, went to high school initially in Iowa, shoots down to Georgia, gets a little tougher on playing against a little deeper competition. To your point, Tom, on the offensive line, I mean, yes, we had tackles for loss, but the big thing is that it wasn't but 1 sack. And on the internet, they were saying that Oklahoma has the greatest defensive line in the SEC. And their defense was leading not only the nation, but they were leading with 9 points a game. The funny point though for offense is the irony of 138 yards rushing. Thomas said like 94 with Wisner. The irony is we were outpassed. So think about this: 2 or 3 weeks ago, if they're like, "Oh man, Oklahoma's gonna have a quarterback, he gonna have a broken hand," how bad are they talking about Arch if they quotation mark outpass us, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's no more level for excuse for me. You threw for 200 yards, you threw for 201, we threw for 166. So I don't want to hear there's no excuse, right? You guys were able to have a quarterback. Yes, his hand was bleeding. As a man that has had some thumb issues in my day, it's horrible that Brent Venables decided to play him because my thumbs are this bad and I don't have any lacerations. So when I saw the thing about the blood was there, it was way past it, bro. But that tells you what the version for them, what this rivalry means. Mm-hmm. They were ready to risk it all to just hope that they could score 6 points, and they ain't fret.
Defensively, what do we see defensively? I mean, we saw the secondary. We got a few turnovers out there. Jonesy, what did you see defensively that you're excited to see this week?
Yeah, quick 6 points I took down for this. We had pressure on the quarterback, 6 sacks. We made him 4 hurries that was on there. So this is like the best performance that we had of the year. Forced turnovers, 3 INTs, 2 from Mr. Muhammad. Shout out to him. Even 1 from Grayson Littleton. That was really, really dope as well. Which actually I think those were key momentum changing plays, which actually ended up making us win the game. The dominance was just physical, plain and simple on the defensive side, where we definitely stifled the run game. It was one of the best run defenses that we had all season. And for sure, like we were running just disciplined and effective schemes overall, especially with the edge. We've been talking about this from the get-go. Colin Simmons, Brad Spence, both of those off the edge. Shout out for Arkansas giving that one over there, letting them transfer over to us. But I mean, those two during the whole game were just matching up together and just crushing, plain and simple. If it wasn't one, the other one was right there every single time. Tap even got him 1 too. So, shout out to, our lighter brothers.
Gridiron Gospel. Hallelujah, Gridiron Gospel. What we talking today?
Yeah. It was a Hallelujah Saturday. So Jonesy hit most of the key points. I think I'll underscore 48 rushing yards on 30 carries. Our front 7 showed up like they hadn't showed up all year, like we expected them to at the beginning of the year. And perhaps it's a little bit of learning and development, right, for that group as well, because we did replace some players on the interior. As Jonesy mentioned, we got you had Spence that showed up and showed out. You had Colin Simmons finally deliver on the promise that he made at the beginning of the season. I'm going to break the sack record and this and that. He started that this weekend. But just limiting them to under 200, 250 yards, where they were averaging about 415 on the season. Mateer definitely was not at full strength. But to Rodney's point, that is a testament to how much they thought they needed him to compete with us, because they know that in this game, regardless of what happened the week before, what happened all season, that we're going to bring our A++ game, which we did. So our defense showed up in a big way. And I'll give a quick another plug for the special teams units. Our kicking game looked amazing. And our kick return game, our punt return game, little Ryan Niblett, they want to say he had 3 blocks in the back. You know what? You could pick out 3 blocks in the back on every play on a special team. So 75 yards up the field, bounced off his own player's booty to get back to the sideline, and then cut it back inside and take it into the end zone. Little Ryan Niblett for the score to put us up by 14, gave us that nice cushion we needed to bring it home. It was a complete game, in my opinion.
It was, man. What a game. What what times. I sat next to Toma and Waits, and they had an OU fan out there that was really riled up. That boy was ready. He
He
before
was
the game even started, he was like, "Come on, man, let's bet if OU wins, you got to buy me tickets to the game next year or something." And we were like, what is it boy doing? But I give it to him. He stayed fast the whole game, didn't leave, turned around, high fived us, and high five Toma multiple times after us scoring and taking the lead. So shout out to what a good game. Hey fellas, but we are mid-season. We are mid-season with not a clear front runner in college football. You look, Indiana upsets Oregon. Who would have bet on that? But let's go ahead and make some predictions for the end of the season. Fellas, give me your top 4 teams going into the college playoff. Not the end of the season, but your top 4 teams going into the college playoff. Waits, we're going to start with you.
Whew. So it's funny because in theory, this year is the first year where they'll be reseeded versus going in last year where it was an automatic conference champion, hence us being like maybe 7 or 6 and having that amazing home game with Clemson. I'm going to go with Ohio State as one because I think they're going to win the Big Ten. Ironically, it's going to be, I'll know this weekend for sure. Miami, I think they're going to win the ACC. Sadly, I got Ole Miss. I'm sorry, I got Georgia. I got Georgia, and that's a lot of conversation later as regards to how it goes. And then Arizona State, not Texas Tech. And those are the 4 because they're going to be the conference champions, and I think they'll be ranked high. I think Oregon will probably get back up there, and Oregon or Indiana will get back up there at the end, but it'll lose to Ohio State, which will take them out of that 4. And sadly, I think somehow, some weights, Georgia's gone. I just think Georgia's got the rest of the schedule. Now, as I say all that, they could lose this week, and it could be all because I'm in next to last in the standings. So,
but okay, so you pick the conference champions.
Yep.
So let's go to, and we'll go with everybody else next, but let's go with after everything is reseeded. Okay.
Yeah.
Like everything is, I want the top 4 teams.
But I have them as my 4 as well. So even though they're all
You're saying both.
Oh,
yeah.
Arizona State.
Yeah.
That's
okay. All right.
That's a big swing.
That's why we play the games. T. Jones, let's go to you.
Yeah, if we're looking at everybody, I pretty much agree with Waits to some extent that there. I think Ohio State for sure is going to get their run. I think Bama's going to get in there. I think Bama gets in there. I say Georgia's going to lose, not this weekend, but they will lose in November. We'll talk about that pick a little bit later on. So they will have 2 losses at home. I think the U has a great run towards it. This last one is really tough that's there because there's going to be a lot of shifting. There's going to be a lot of moving. I think LSU is going to make a run at it. Quite honestly, if my picks go through the way that they need to this week, Tech might be secretly a 4-seater. I mean, it just you got to keep running the gambit. That's all we can say at this point. It's a no lose season right now for a lot of people.
I love it. Okay.
And so, that makes it real interesting, I think, for everyone.
Gridiron Gospel, who you got?
Well, it's a moving target, right? So I think things could change, obviously, at any point in time. Before this weekend, Oklahoma was considered, the best team in the SEC or one of the best, and now they're on the outside looking in. So to your point, or to your question, Marlon, I think Ohio State is gonna be there. When they're there now, I think they're going to remain there. I think Miami's going to continue to do what they're doing. As Wade said, they'll win the ACC. That'll solidify the top 4 status. I don't see Indiana or A&M remaining where they are through the end of the season. So that leaves room for, as Jonesy stated, Alabama, I think, gets back in the picture. They've got a couple quality wins under their belt now. DeBoers, I think, is feeling more comfortable with the program and with everything that's going on there. And then I think it's tough, man. The 4th one, I mean, I want to agree with Waits because I had this pick later in the season for us, I see Georgia kind of just creeping back in there, dog. But to my earlier point, it could be at any point in time. It could all change. It could all fall apart. Stockton could be nice one week. He could fall apart the next week. So
Yeah.
those were my. If you had gun to my head right now, those are my top four. Clearly, yeah, Tech, Oregon, all those other people are still gonna be in the mix. So that's it. That's what I got for now.
Toma T, who you got?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna deviate too much from the group. I am still impressed with Ohio State and what they continue to do. Shout out to the U. I cannot hate on them. And I've been going back and forth. I know we talked about Oregon, and that was a tough loss. I'm still. I want to go some little tortillas with Texas Tech. So this week matters, I think, to a certain extent. So I actually am going to ride with some Red Raiders and see what happens, just because this is all wishful thinking. And from that standpoint, but from an SEC standpoint, I hope it would be us, but I do not know. I just want battle. I'm not going to even call it from SEC, man. I want it to be us, and I believe in smiles and hope. So that's what you get.
Yes.
And wish.
The wish factor.
The wish factor.
Well, I'm gonna keep it simple. Ohio State. Everybody seems to be on board with that one. Bama. I'm gonna go with Bama as well. I think they slide back up in there, like Vince Young slid it in the national championship. I'm gonna go with my brother Lane Kiffin.
Ooh,
Miss.
hotty
Hotty.
Yeah.
I think it's time for them to get up in that thing. And I'm going to go with Bobby Knight and the Hoosiers.
Little Isaiah Thomas.
Because Indiana doesn't play anybody else really with a that's ranked for the rest of the season. So it's theirs to lose. And they made a nice little run last year. So I'm going to go with Indiana for my pick. But now let's get into this week's matchup. The Kentucky Wildcats. Texas makes their way to Lexington to play the 0-3 in conference, 2-3 overall record Kentucky Wildcats. Texas leads the series 2-0. I mean, 2-0. I don't know if you even call that a series, but we won the last two. 2024 being the most recent game, and I think we played back in 1951 or something like that, and we won that game like 7-6. So, fellas, let's talk offensively. What can we expect from Texas? Are we going to see the same Texas team that showed up in Dallas? Wait.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a add-on. So Trey Wisener had 158 yards last year. And so we had over 400 yards total last year as well. And we did all that. We had 2 turnovers. Here's the thing, man. Kentucky ends up playing like the basketball has their March Madness Friday night. So this game might not even matter to the fan base as much as it would, because they care about basketball and they're ready to roll. Like I said, I am in. Shout out to our homeboy Big D, Derek Sherrard. He has been. He was on Nick Brooks, and I'm telling you guys, it's this freshman who is a guard now for us. Is really, really, I think he's just so hyped and ready to play that he's just pushing the other guys, because we had so much tenacity and downfield blocking. And so when you have that, receivers are starting to come along. Mosley is a big help. And the thing about it with the offense, and I think I must call him Quinn, Arch, he only needs like a semi-open second option. And before Mosley was there, think about that play to Parker Livingston that was almost on the goal line. Think about the Ryan Wingo ones. This was the first game where we did, that he had another guy that was potentially open and he had an option. And Arch made some hella throws to get there. And Kentucky doesn't have all the players that they had last year. So I think the offense is going to be able to put up. We'll have more. We'll have over 200 passing yards. I think we'll have over 175 rushing yards in Kentucky. The only fear factor of the offense is the willy-nilly stuff that can happen at night in the SEC. That when we used to watch games, we'll be like, "No, is the score right? Tennessee is down to Vanderbilt. Yada yada yada." We was at DKR stunting on these boys.
Well, that's real. Yeah, I mean, to that point, it's like the letdown game after you went up so big, all your intensity, all your heart, all your passion against for Oklahoma, and you demoralized them, right? But it's a new week. It's a new week, a new competition, SEC. So I think I've been saying learning and development, but this is a week that we need to show discipline and maturity, right? We need to make sure we minimize our own messes. And I'm still on like penalties. I'm really proud of the effort that we had last Saturday. But now we're going into a night game, going away. We need to keep that same kind of discipline from that standpoint. From an offensive standpoint, I'm looking for balance, right? Balance rushing, balance passing, a lot of movement for Arch too. I think we'll continue to do that to allow some spacing for the O-line to kind of that secondary third reads for Trey and whatever running backs that want to stay with us. If you want to leave, you got to leave. Shout out to something else. But and then we can go back into Arch's hands. So I'm looking for balance on offense and not getting too caught up in the moment against another away game. We need the same intensity from that learning and development standpoint. So
I love it. Gip, what's the defense going to do?
Well, I think the defense, minus the Florida game, has been our saving grace. I'd like to see them continue to do what they did last weekend. Kentucky's not a good offense. They've turned the ball over quite a bit. They're like at the bottom. They're 11th, I think, or close to the bottom of the SEC. They're very close to the bottom of the FBS in offense. So I think our defense shows up well. I think the wild card, obviously, being, as you guys stated, it's a night game. We're on the road. Can we focus? Can we bring ourselves back from the brink of excitement and the level of passion that we had last week? But I think our defense will show up. I think it's going to be a defensive game through the first half, and I think that's going to carry us to the victory. They're not good enough to beat us. So ultimately the pressure that we're going to bring off the edges and the ability to lock down those corners, I think is going to be the key to our success on defense. Shout out to Kyle Ballinger, my most recently former boss, who moved into a new role in a new position, and he's a Kentucky fan for life. Shout out to
Jonesy. Before you go, since Kyle took the man's life away, shout out to everybody on live with us on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, because Kyle is taking folks away.
R.I.P. to Kyle Ballinger. You and D'Angelo up there singing with the angels. So, all right, Jones.
What you got, Jonesy?
I'm gonna keep it short and simple because I'm not gonna say you all were long-winded. Y'all were long-winded.
Okay.
We're gonna do good. The points scored per game, Kentucky's 169th out of everybody in college football right now. We're gonna do what we did last week. We're gonna handle business the way that we need to, and we're gonna show everybody that this is Texas D. No pun intended.
Unpause. You hear me?
You gonna get that?
Well, fellas, let's go and get into the pick'em this week. But before we get into the pick'em, let's go live to our commercial for the app.
You heard?
That's right. Check us out at app.thehornsman.com for make your pick, get the app, live the game, live the culture, play the game, try to beat us, all the things. And this ad has been sponsored by.
What about, y'all remember Whisk as like a Washington version Whisk?
Clearly Canadian.
Yeah.
We need to get defunct companies. Circuit City,
Your
go-to stop for electronics.
And you too can get this shirt from Mervin's.
From Bales and Mervin's.
Shout out to East Texas Bales.
Blockbuster Video.
Oh my God.
Come see us.
Mervins.
Oh my God.
Open.
Brillo pads. You know,
That is
it
funny.
was good here.
All right, man. Let's get into the first game. Our first game is Texas Tech versus Arizona State. Gip, who you got?
Oh, good question. Can we see it on the screen? So
Hey, you know what? We're sponsored. We're gonna be sponsored by Nurivia for brain health.
Hey, that's short-term memory. It does tend to
To
fade.
all of us.
No, I got Tech. I think they look the part this season. Yeah, I do. It's clear as day right now. No, they've played extremely well. Arizona State, what is that going to look like for them with their quarterback who may or may not be healthy at this point? So I got Tech in this one.
Wait.
Yeah, I think speaking of the quarterback, I think we saw him, Jonesy. I mean, we can go all night as far as what we saw versus Arizona State when we played him in the Peach Bowl. Jonesy threw up his hat 500 feet. Somehow the God said, even though we was playing the Devils, Kali, the hat came back in his hand, and I knew he was going to win. Shout out to Quinn, 4 for 13. I say all that to say, Texas Tech is a poor man's Aggie. You heard it here first. They got to come back to life at some point. Shout out to the Devils, Arizona State only. I got them coming back with the quarterback coming back.
All right.
Whoa.
Jonesy.
The balance, because it's tough for us to acknowledge people that their schools in tech or state. But you know what? Here's the thing about it. Yes, that was violence for you young people. Baron Morton is having the highest completion percentage in any other season that he's had, and he's going into this being a senior. So I think he's gonna try to keep that going. I'm going with Tech. This is a good Big 12 matchup.
Toma T.
Just because I almost picked Tech and just a minute ago for the Final Four, I guess I'm rocking with Tech. No, but truthfully, I believe in the power of the tortilla. And since Scatterbo is in New York now, sorry, Pitchforks, you don't have it. It's Tech.
All right. And I'm going to start by saying, baby, let's cruise away from here. So Texas Tech, Chimmies, tortillas, they cruising away from Arizona State. Texas Tech for the dub. Next up, we got USC versus Notre Dame.
I don't need any memory care for this pick.
Who you got?
I got the Fighting Irish, and that's not a homer pick. No pun intended. The Golden Domers. It is simply they're on a heater. They've won 4 in a row. They've looked really good doing it. I think that they had some tough games out the gate. The A&M game being one of them, but they've solidified their defense. They've gotten healthy. Their run game is sick. It's gross. It's disgusting. I got Notre Dame in a big way against USC, and this is a big rivalry, so it's going to be a hot one.
Waits.
I don't know what he even said, but I got Notre Dame coming back. I mean, they got to redeem themselves. They lost to Lassie, dog. So what you expect? No offense. Shout out to West.
Jonesy.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley and SC, man, they have one of the great quarterbacks in the system right now from the great Aloha State, by the way. So I love to ride with them a lot. He's dominating the RPO system that Lincoln Riley's provided for him right now, which is really good.
For sure.
The issue is that you have to go to South Bend at nighttime. Notre Dame.
Are they going to cut the grass?
Toma T.
Listen, I don't know. This has been a tough one for me. Grew up East Texas, was raised Catholic. I believe in all of them now. Shout out to all of them. You're right. It's a tough place to play, Notre Dame at night. But Aggie did it. So, but now, sorry, it's just because Trojans. I just don't like that. So I'll give you Irish. That's for my mama, though.
Goodness. Respect.
Oh.
I want some of your brown sugar.
Well, you hitting them notes, man. You might
Yeah,
have to sing a song.
I'm hitting something.
Little Shaw.
SC wants some of that brown sugar, baby. Get how you love, don't know how to behave. SC don't know how to behave. Taking that brown sugar.
We are not going to get hit with copyright on these.
Not at all.
Not at all. We're clean. In the clean.
Can you believe he is singing Otis Redding?
I don't want us to get in trouble and get this,
No.
You're
You're doing it the right way.
Lose this Brillo partnership that we got. Lose this Monster Reward.
Woolworth.
That's funny.
Oh, geez.
Next up, we got OU versus South Carolina. Yep, who you got?
So let me reference my play sheet. I have South Carolina this weekend. Here's why, ladies and gentlemen. Oklahoma is deflated and defeated. Mateer has a broken lower.
Here we go. Just keep it clean.
And along with that, so I've got South Carolina at home. That they thrive at home, and I think that they're going to show Oklahoma who they need to be for the rest of the season.
Love it. Waits.
back to this zero here. Anybody remember this 49-0 deal? I am back on my I never ever picking Oklahoma again. Like, and I can ride out. They may play Incarnate Word Junior Tech West later, and I got Incarnate Word in a major upset. I got for you, golly, since you wanted to talk about flaps, go Cox. Shout out to my homegirl Jamie. I got South Carolina doing it. Shout out to the Fighting Don Staleys.
Yep.
Jonesy.
Well, the Cox are going to fight inch by inch, right? And they're going to go down, and they're going to go down and definitely do what they need to do. Unfortunately, I don't think OU is going to let them penetrate.
Come on. Full stop.
It's going to be a tough one this time. OU gave it up too much last week. And
Come on.
That house this week. So
Six.
Shout out to you, Oklahoma Sooners. I'm going to pick y'all this time, man. There we go.
Toma T, who you got?
Hey, just real quick, showing some love to the Sooners. Shout out to Jay Wig, came on the show last week. Shout out to Sean Dorsey. Shout out to Mike Wills, who didn't want to call me back. Shout out to Chocolate Greg Rose, who tried to give him all he could from heaven. But he didn't do it last week. So we'll give you all those blessings this week. And I want to give up some love for John Mateer. John Mateer's hand beats the Cox.
That's good. That is very good.
Well,
Khalid is done.
well, I'm gonna say it like this. Shit. Damn.
We're like,
Hey, that's what OU is saying after that beatdown last week, and it will continue this week. We got South Carolina coming with the victory. All right, next up, we got Tennessee versus Bama. Yep, who you got?
I like Alabama. I really like them going forward. I think Ty Simpson looks really good. Their defense, as always, is going to keep them relevant and in games. I like Alabama. I think Tennessee kind of I don't know, shot their wad early. I don't know. I don't want to use the Gamecock, continue that reference, but I think that they showed a lot and then they kind of peter out as they typically do. So for those reasons, I'm picking Alabama this week.
Wait.
Time purposes, I got Bama. Shout out to Coach Lindquist, defensive coordinator, my homeboy from way back. Go Bama. Roll whatever.
Sam
Burrell. Let's go. The Coleman brothers.
Yep, I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. So.
You don't.
Roll Tide.
Toma, who you got?
Listen, shout out to Alabama. Shout out to my good friend Jamaica Capricious Capricorn. She's been riding with the Tide forever. But,
Show hands.
You know. So, but here's the truth. I want her to take me to another place. Take me to another land. For some strange reason, it had to be. He guided me to Tennessee.
Look at him.
Switching it up. Shout out to the ugly orange right there, baby.
You're the only 10 I see.
Speaking to that Tennessee, Alabama's going to come in and tell Tennessee that you're my lady.
We should get this flag down.
We should.
Alabama gonna roll Tide on them, baby.
Man, shout out to
right,
Levert.
our last pick of the game, we got Ole Miss versus Georgia. Yep, what you got?
Georgia. Ole Miss has played well. They've done well. They look great, but they have traditionally not been able to sustain that. And I think that this is the week that sustainability becomes an issue for them. I think Georgia's just got too much all around. Kirby Smart is too smart for Lane Kiffin. I love Lane Kiffin. I love his swag. I love his S-talk. But I think Georgia's got this one this weekend. Shout out to me for being born in Georgia. R.I.P. me.
I'll make it real simple. Jonesy saved my life, man. When at the one time Waits was down at a game, he found my wallet in the Grove. But they playing in Georgia. I got the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toma T. I'm sorry, Jonesy, who you got?
That's all right. You can go past me if you want to, man. It's all
It ain't about me, dog.
This is not about me. You know what? They're calling this the battle of the two sons of Saban.
Ooh.
And so,
Ooh.
yeah.
Sons of
They're
Saban.
hyping
I
this
like
one up a
that.
little
That's
bit.
catchy.
On there.
Yeah.
We can do. They could do something with the marketing, really, if they really want. They really could. I just don't think that Georgia is going to have their second loss in Athens until November. But you know what?
Come on.
It's not the
Foreshadow.
only
Come on.
thing big going on in the state of Georgia. Shout out to all the people for Spell House. It's this weekend, so boom, boom, pow. Y'all have a great time at homecoming. You know, it's a weird time whenever you show up and you weren't invited, but you know, we like to support too. You know, just getting into it. Georgia.
Gotcha. Toma T.
Hey, I love Lane Kiffin. I think he's doing his thing. But the reality is, he got on the mic. I think it was yesterday or maybe it was this morning, actually, in his press conference, and he called Kirby Smart fat in so many words, bro.
Wow.
So listen, as the resident healthy young man, I can't ride with it. Georgia, the Bulldogs. Don't you look? This is man meat, but it's not fat.
Come on.
Sorry, this is my own
Well-
triggers. I apologize.
Okay.
You internalized that.
Yeah,
Well,
I did to heart.
You know, part of me says Georgia dogs have a bone. But I got a Jones in my bones. And my Jones in my bones is picking Ole Miss for
Hell
the
yeah.
There he
victory.
is. That's a
There
good
he
switch
is.
up.
That boy. And you know what?
Mythic.
Gip said it. Shout out to RIP and shout out to D'Angelo. And God rest his soul.
Love him.
Sing for us one time in heaven. But more importantly, man, I appreciate everyone coming out to watch the show live. Comment, follow us at app.thehornsman.com. Again, app.thehornsman.com. Get your pick'em. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell your mama, tell your cousin, tell them all to come and join us. We got a few other things coming up later this season. You want to make sure you follow us. We're your favorite podcast. Favorite podcast.
Favorite podcast.
Favorite podcast.
That's my favorite podcast.
Shout out to all you boys, man. Shout out to all you boys for doing. It was our first live show, so shout out to KP, El Nino, and Tawana and Spurlock. That's on the thing, man.
Yep.
We've been looking to try to do this for I ain't gonna months, but now we here. So thank y'all for signing in, man. It was good. And please, can more people sign up for the pickup so I can just do better than y'all? Because these boys on the screen are slaughtering me with one bad hand and one good. And this is what you're supposed to go.
John,
Say something later.
DJ, hit the music.
Y'all, Ray, Taylor, Mike, all y'all that came out as well, man. Give everybody a shout out.
6 points, John Casey. Go.
Shout out to Ophelia from Dallas who at the Texas OU game, she was like, "Who y'all? Hey, I want to follow and
Is she hyped that Taylor Swift made a song about her? Okay, dope. Ophelia,
you know
come
what?
on through.
Look at you with the diversity, Gip.
Story about how Taylor Swift interviewed her like 12 months ago.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's
Okay.
amazing.
So
What
she did write the song using her name. Okay.
Well, I mean, I just said why'd she interview, and she was like, oh, she was just curious about what I do in Dallas.
We got to shout out Cinnabons as well for joining the app and following us and making a prediction. So, yeah.
Boom, pow.
Next time you guys are in Dallas, hit up Ecstasy. Make sure you go show her love.
No comment. Dallas, Texas Exes. We shout you out, Naomi. Moving forward.
John Mateer, ladies and gentlemen.
Broken hand.
That's a 100% joke.
All right, y'all. Peace out now.
Holla.